Good morning, although barely where I'm at, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Curtis Selby, your tired midnight blogger who blogs in this case at 11:21 p.m. I'm going to be sharing with you with the Cosme link that I hope I have appropriately pinned at the top of the chat. Let me know if it isn't, because I don't really want to go into YouTube just yet, because I don't want to mess with the noise just yet. We're going to be sharing Fist of the North Star. So this is not your typical Saturday morning cartoon. I hope that doesn't disappoint anybody. This is one of the classics of anime. It is full of over-the-top violence, men being so toxically masculine, which I'm exaggerating. There is a lot of toxic masculinity, but it is a clear delineation in this movie who the toxic... All right, I see a couple people have come into the chat. I will stop the rock music because I felt like the soft prone was not as appropriate to this film as the usual stuff that I give. So let me say hello to the 2 people in chat. The stream is saying I have 4 people. Welcome, welcome. I hope that you are entertained. And if not, well, it's my fault, not the fault of this movie. Hello and hail Tim, under the moniker of FKHC 2005. Someday I'm going to have to ask you what that means. But not today. Today is devoted to over-the-top martial arts violence and post-apocalyptic drama. Connie Cleary, hello to thee, the faithful bird woman. Check out her other channel, Fluff Chick Productions. If after this film you are depressed as heck, which is distinctly possible, go check out her bird videos. They will make you smile. Connie is on her phone, I understand. Thank you for being here. And even if you can't stay, I'm just appreciative of anyone who shows up and doesn't leave an incredibly nasty comment. Good morning to Sci-Fi Mombi, who is much more talented than I am at doing this stuff. This is literally only my second presentation on Cosme. So we'll see how this goes. And my third attempt at streaming a film in a YouTube presence, whatever the hell the term would be. Yes, Sci-Fi Mombi is indeed the fluff chick of YouTube, one of the best moderators that is out there. Me, I am going to tell you that I couldn't find an appropriate image from the cartoon, so instead I took off my shirt and flexed, and that is a literal photo of me on my icon. Oh, I wish that was true. I wish that was true. Sci-Fi Mombi. Yeah, if you just knew. I've lost some weight, so I'm a little closer to that, but yeah, it's and I have been not terribly far from that, but that was a little while ago. So I prepared a few words, an introduction. I will not make them very long because I know that what we're here for is over-the-top martial arts violence and basically iconic anime cartoons. I don't know how much anime you have seen, but to me, and I'm not an expert on anime, so, you know, take this with a great big grain of salt, but this was my introduction to anime. And I honestly believe this is, except for maybe Ghibli Studios, I think this is the best introduction you can have to it. It's got a good plot, although it's simple. It's got great characters, although again, they don't overthink them. The violence is, I'll be blunt. The way I was growing up, I don't want to go into a psychological deep dive on myself, so I was beaten by my mother. I don't say that to garner sympathy. I say that to let you know that violence didn't really bother me in a movie or a show. It was just part of everyday life. I realize now that that's screwed up. But, when I was a kid, there it was. So violence on film rarely bothered me. This one pushed the limits. It never quite broke them, but it pushed the limits of what I could take. So I want to give you fair warning. If violence bothers you, as much as I need and want views, this may not be the thing for you to watch. But my introduction into this is that this was introduced to me in the Honors Lounge at OSU before I lost my scholarship. I fell in love with the movie. The person who owned it had gotten a bunch of stuff from Japan, so he had it in the original Japanese, which meant I understood about maybe 5 words, if that, in the whole movie, and he had to explain a few things. I have an English dubbing, so you won't have to worry about that. Or actually, it's not that I have it. The channel that I'm going to stream this from has an English translation. Anyway, if life had gone the way I wanted it, I would have become a huge anime enthusiast. As it is, I've only watched a handful of anime, but I will admit that nearly all of them, and not quite all of them, but nearly all of them have been films that I really love. But this is still my personal standard for anime. I watched it a few times before I got married. We won't talk about after I got married, but after I left my ex-wife, I've watched it, 6, 7, 8 times because I love it so much. Most people that I've shared this with don't understand my love for it. We'll see if you guys do or not. It's a mix of Bruce Lee and Mad Max. It takes place in a post-apocalyptic world after an atomic war happens in the far-flung future of 1990 something. They never really pinned down the exact year, but the atomic war happened somewhere in the 90s. The manga that this was based off of came out in the early 80s. I'm not encyclopedically knowledgeable about this show, so forgive me if my knowledge is somewhat lacking. I've seen the movie. I've seen part of the first season. My nephew was kind enough to get me the DVD of it. Yeah, I was afraid that I wouldn't like the TV show, and it turned out I think I actually like it better than the movie. But I don't have access to that right now because I still can't find my DVD player. Someday I need to unpack. One of the creators of this film was literally nicknamed Bronson. I haven't been able to find out if that's because he was like Charles Bronson or if it was because he just really liked Charles Bronson. I love the haunted warrior Kenshiro, who you see there on the icon. He's wandering a waste world in search of his lost love, and while he was one of the strongest living beings on the planet, you notice I don't say he was the strongest. He chose to protect the innocent rather than prey on them. So, without further ado, hopefully some of you have made it into Cosme. Let me know if you have not. And again, I don't do this very often, so please bear with me. I'm going to try to do something that may or may not be the smartest thing I ever did. Because last minute, I thought I would change what I present in Cosme, not because, oh, that really wasn't smart, was it? Let's go back. Sorry for the silence here. Silence of the Lambs. Okay, so we got that. I have to search the apps. Okay. Oh, but I can still do it up there. Okay. Okay. This is going to work, I think. So hopefully you are in Cosme, because I'm about to go radio silent because I want you to hear the theme song. Meow meow Mora Kitty. I hope I've done this right. The link should be at the top. And since I haven't done this before, let me know if there's any kind of weird feedback, because I've got my microphone right next to the computer. And yes, I know I said that I have an English version, but I wanted to share the theme song to the TV show because it gives you what you need to know more succinctly than me just going on about it. If I'm doing this right, okay, I've got my earbuds on, but let me know if it's still messing up or anything. Because like I say, second time doing this, I don't really know. So that, if I did it right, if it played right, I don't want it to loop, even though it is like cool. But that is basically the world of Fist of the North Star. You got badass martial artists wandering around just because. Did it drop? No, it didn't drop it. Actually, I stopped it because, like I say, I know I'm not doing this very well, but that was the theme song to the TV show. I am about to present the actual movie, which is in English mostly. All right, Cosme. We shall go to Cosme. Anyway, if you saw that theme, it's probably silly, but I loved it because I'm watching that 25 years later, and it's reminding me of so many things. Here we go. The Promised Fist of the North Star. And Sci-Fi Mombi, should I mute my mic, or how do you guys do it when you present on Cosme? Because I've kind of thought about that. I don't know that I want YouTube getting all the sound from this. And good morning, Sashi. Sunday morning for you. Just dropping in to drop a like. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I had such a shallow understanding of Japanese culture, and probably still do, but a little deeper. I didn't really know much about that yin and yang stuff. Sounded cool. Okay, yeah, I've got my earbuds in, Sci-Fi Mombi. Hopefully, I guess I'll figure out if I do this right. Sashi says it's 12:35 midnight over there. So yes, go to sleep, but I suggest you go to sleep to Fist of the North Star. It's wonderful to sleep to. Sort of. Now I know that by today's standards, this probably isn't the best animation, but you got to remember this is early 80s. It's not Disney. It's not any of your American stuff. This is not made by a mega corporation. It's just a small group of Japanese. To me, this was amazing. I watched this in I want to say the winter of 1991, potentially just a year or two before the actual atomic war. Oh, is that a spoiler? Sometimes I watch this and I think it's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful world. I've always wondered if that was Ken on the beach. I'm not really sure. I kind of think not because he's not brawny enough, but it's pre-atomic apocalypse, so who knows? And now things are going to change. Of course, the horrors of atomic war are most realistic to the Japanese. Probably goes without saying, but Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they know it better than hopefully any of us ever will. Yeah, I don't have any idea why an ocean liner would be at the top of the building, but it's still badass. We no longer need to worry about global warming. The nuclear winter has arrived. Here you see the souls, all the lost souls of the people who have died, escaping from their tortured corpses. It's terrible. And I bet all of you are thinking, what in the hell have I gotten myself into? Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I typed it in instead of saying it. Yeah, thank you so much, Connie. I'm just glad that you're here for what you can. And hopefully you enjoy what you watch. If you don't, I'm sorry. The very earth has been tortured. And here we have our main character, Kenshiro, and the love of his life, Yulia. Ken's not a man of many words. There's two major martial arts that rule this world: Fist of the North Star and Fist of the Southern Cross. He has a point. After the Atomic War, would rules really matter? Ken is Fist of the North Star, and I have terrible time with my chronic fatigue sometimes. But Ren or Ray or whatever his name is, he's the Fist of the Southern Cross. And as you see, their skills are really terrible, horrible things. The Fist of the Southern Cross basically allows you to use your fingers as if they were knives. And so, barehanded, he's just cut into pieces. Shin, that's his name. Sorry. Yeah, I know. Totally know how you feel there, Ken. These are two people who were in the same dojo as Ken. I love Rao. He's not the good guy, but I still love that character. Dating was weird in the 80s. That's all I have to say. This time with feeling. Howdy, JPR Peach One. I'm glad you're leaving a like. And it looks like the bad guys have won. Great film, huh? Roll credits. There's three major boss battles that happen later. Shin is one of the major bad bosses, as you can imagine. Yeah, pretty much sums up my dating philosophy. I'm just kidding, sort of. What fell out of her pocket? Could it be the One Ring? Oh my gosh. They did screw up Tolkien's Rings of Power. Row there. Tree hugger. Honestly, that's one of the reasons why I loved her so much. I love the character of Yulia, even though she's probably a little too overly simplistic, but for a cartoon, it's just about right. Too much complication and it gets to be just too much. Okay, this guy, I don't want to say too much about him because of spoilers, but there's reasons why he has these bandages on his head. And if you haven't figured out, he's not one of the good guys either. You've only seen two of the good guys so far. And the martial arts in here is totally over the top. You and I both know this should kill anybody. Should kill anybody. And here you see someone who is not even as powerful as you think Ken should be, but you see what he's able to do. It makes you wonder, one, what can Ken do? And two, why didn't he go full force against Shin? Yeah, looks like the road up to my house. Resembles my house. A little cleaner. Now I don't know why, but the sensei is not the fist of the North Star. I don't know why. Theme drop. Yeah, the martial arts in this is completely unrealistic and over the top. There's kind of a symbolism here, though, if you think about it. The time of the old gods is done. Now we're in this brutal post apocalyptic world. We'll do what we want. I'm only crashing your head. Crash, crash. Even in a post apocalyptic world, we can agree to disagree. Basically, this moment so pivotal that the very spiritual forces are in chaos. He's such a bad villain. He's one of my favorites. And it may be explained in one of the many sequels, but I don't know what happened. But I assume the sensei died. And this scene, I can't prove it, but I'm almost certain that this either influenced or was influenced by the Kurgan in the Highlander when he's cutting off Ramirez's head. Prove that I'm right. Rao's Guide to Prayer. A few years later, turns out even the low level martial artists in this world are just over the top badasses. This is where I learned my table manners. And money is basically worthless now. Nobody even cares. What did that have to do with anything? Is just actually just showing you what the world's like. Now we're introduced to the two sidekicks from the movie. You're seeing the Mad Max influence here. We don't need another hero. Ba-dum. Actually, we obviously do. Uh, yeah, yeah, downtown LA right there. And this sequel to American Graffiti is just weird. Uh, Cartoon physics do exist in this world, as you can see. Typical commute to work in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We know they're bad guys. They have mohawks. You know they're the sidekicks because even though they're more or less helpless, they're at least putting up a fight, unlike the peasants that died in the previous scene. And here you see what I think of our government whenever I hear the news pretty nearly every day. And just pick a political party. I don't want to get into politics, but either one of them, you could probably use this imagery for it. Godzilla! Oh, no, not Godzilla. Who could it be? Who can it be now? Now you saw what his brother, who is named Jaggy, could do. Now take a look at what this fellow, who we don't know who this is, wink, wink. It's probably the role I would get, would be the guy with the mohawk munching on food. Now, when you're just negligently walking through toppling skyscrapers and they fall on your head and they're the ones that get damaged, you know you're a badass. Jesus? Uh, I thought you said blessed are the meek. Holy crap. You can tell the guy in the robe is shaking in his boots. Oh, you're so gonna pay for that. The only thing worse is killing a puppy or a kitten, man. That you're the worst. Huh. Huh. Oh, that's not gonna be good. Now you get to learn what Fist of the North Star style is all about. Basically, he knows all the pressure points on the body, and just by particular punches or particular movements of his hands, he cause you to internally bleed and explode. My mind is blown. And I just love he can cause all that destruction and mayhem, but he just tenderly holds the child. That's if anyone wants to know, whatever you may think of toxic masculinity, that's what masculinity is actually supposed to be. You're able to destroy everything around you, but you're capable of love, of tenderness, and of protection of the innocent. Exposition time. There's two characters in this movie, this being one of them, who have psychological basically they can't do things because of the because of PTSD taken to the extreme. And here we have Neo Zanies, or maybe the Hell's Angels that are going to Colorado to take on certain people. I never perfected that technique of getting up out of my bed and my bed just explodes. I'm Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod. It's so over the top. And the people basically between your low level bad guys and your big boss battles, you have giants. If I remember right, this guy or maybe the next giant has the ability to turn his flesh into steel. He's kind of like Cyclops. Oh my gosh, it's Kenshiro! I'm shocked and stunned. He's still alive. And they're probably fifth, sixth, seventh level characters. They're not even. They're barely worth his time. One negligent punch and they're just gone. I'm almost certain that the guy what made Kung Fury was inspired by this. You cannot break the law. You can just break yourself on the law. Guy's probably 10 feet tall. How does he know his name? I never thought of that before. Okay, you see the influence of the Incredible Hulk here. They never explain how his clothes regenerate, but they do. And everyone I've presented this to always laughs at this scene, and it is kind of laughable. But to me, it's more awesome than laughable. Oh, she fell for him. There's a connection. What can it be? My next blog about fatherhood, I might write about this. Yeah, here comes the classic one. That's Kenshiro's tagline right there. You're already dead. Yeah, he had the ability to turn his flesh into steel, but it still wasn't enough to protect him from the 100 fist punch of Kenshiro. The old man knows that style. I mean, he knows about it anyway. Obviously, he doesn't know it, or he would have taken care of the bandits himself. Feast on my manliness. I do wish I looked more like that, though. Man, that would be so cool. I can shave. I know probably a lot of people think this is cheesy, but I just thought this was beautiful when I was 19. One of the since he that hits me in the gut every time. I love that. One of them is you. What I love is they're little kids and they have the innocence of kids, but they don't have the innocence of the Kennys from uh, Gamera or Godzilla. They sometimes push that limit, but they never quite cross that line into being unlikable brats, at least to me. Well, that ain't good. Oh, hey, look, a random D&D encounter. Okay, now when I first watched this, I was confused. I'll try to clear up the confusion if you have any in a little bit. Obviously, this is not Ken. I don't remember the exact style. He disarmed him. Tis but a flesh wound. Welcome back, Connie. Kapla, Gorilla's Random Thoughts. Thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoy the show. You know the drill. I hope I've done this right. There should be a link at the pinned at the top for the Cosme. We are watching Fist of the North Star. Now, this is one of the holes in the plot. Hey, did my stream stop? Let me know if it's still going because I think I've closed out my StreamYard window or something. Either that or I've got it in a different tab. Yeah, I've got it in a different tab. How did I do that? Fumbling around with my tabs. Tired blogging. Ah, woo! Charlotte Nightstar the werewolf. Thank you for coming by. Links at the top, and hopefully enjoy it. If it's too violent, I understand. We're watching one of my favorites, Fist of the North Star. Did it stop? Wait. Okay, it's showing still going on my end. Let me know if it's going or not. If the worst comes to the worst, we'll just finish it on Cosme, but are you still able to hear what's on Cosme? If that's still going, then we're okay. Um okay. 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 So Charlotte, you still see the stream. That's cool. As long as you're able to get into Cosme, that's what really matters. But I do, obviously I want the views and all that stuff on YouTube, but the main thing is that you get to watch it on here. Huzzah! Charlotte is able to hear and see it. Wonderful. Okay. So, for those who have joined late and for those who might be confused, Kenshiro is the Fist of the North Star, the main character. The guy who looks like Shin is actually someone named Ray. And as you've probably surmised, this is Jaggy. Yes, Charlotte, this is a mix of Bruce Lee and Mad Max. And I fell in love with this movie when I was 19. And I looked a little bit closer to Ken did back at the time. Never really looked like that, but I looked a lot closer back then. And now you're learning why he has to wear the helmet and the bandages. For those who are confused or came in late, Jaggy, yes, is the one who tossed Ken down a cliff after he lost a fight with the Fist of the Southern Star, Shin. He is mad because, well, Ken did this to him, but then he had it coming too. So it's kind of an interesting take on the Phantom of the Opera, if you think about it. Yeah, I've learned the hard way that using that tagline on a dating app is not really a successful way to pick up a girl. I was asthmatic as a kid, so I understood all this breathing stuff. Charlotte and Connie, Moira Kitty, and Sci-Fi Mombi got four of the greatest women on the internet, and I just told them that my pickup line was that my face is hideous. There might be reasons why I'm still single-ish. Aw, Connie, that's a beautiful bird. Aw. This guy is one of the weirdest mid-level bad guys. It's not quite a boss battle, but it's pretty close. He actually at least gets a hit in. Pretty bird, pretty bird. I should probably know that bird, Connie, if I'd watched your videos better. It seems like I've seen him. of 100 kicks, even though it's actually foot instead of fist. Oh, the ring neck. Okay. Thank you, Connie. Yeah, there's Ken's famous line, "You're already dead." Nope. Nope. Not so much. I'm afraid I still love that line. A little sloppy, but interesting technique. So the white-haired guy, I when I first watched it, I had him confused with Shin. Obviously, they're not the same people, even though they have similar styles and similar looks. One's a good guy, one's a bad guy, for one thing. One ran off with Ken's girlfriend. The other is looking for his sister. Oh, was Ringneck having a moment? What was wrong with Ringneck? Hopefully not like what's wrong with Jaggy. I've wondered, even now, this kind of hits me in the gut. I mean, oh, seeing your sister so debased and broken would be, I don't know if I couldn't take it. I think of Jaggy as anime Darth Vader, only he's so despicable. Of all the major bosses, and I know it's a spoiler, but Jaggy is one of the boss battles. He's the one with the least honor of all the three villains, but he's also the lowest level one. Not this time. Why not? They do it in the Middle East on both sides. McLaughlin, the Bruce Lee looking one. Yeah, yeah. No, you're not wrong. I don't know who voiced this. I There's a lot of stuff I don't know, but the TV series, they actually did a lot better job on the TV show with this battle, but this is still pretty fun. No one has known pain like I have. Intense, never ending pain. Rao is their other, I don't know about literal brother, but they were raised in a dojo by the sensei Hokuto Renkitsu. He taught them all the style of the Fist of the North Star. But Ken was the one who got the title. Basically, the ninth Dan, I suppose you might think of him. So, what do you ladies think? If I ever do go back on the dating app, should I use a picture of Jaggy as my profile picture? Oh, of course I am. I'm Fist of the North Star. Well, actually, Jaggy is despicable. To me, even though he's not the most dangerous, he's the most evil person in this whole movie. And as I've said before, but I'll say it again for those of you who've come later, there's influences from the Incredible Hulk on this too. Like his key energy destroys his clothes and his enemies, and evidently regenerates his clothes, but not his enemies. Very convenient power to have. And buildings are nothing compared to the power of the Fist of the North Star. Eh, that's not enough. Sticks and stones don't break my bones, but my fists are going to hurt you. Yeah, here we go. The 100 fist technique. Now you recovered from it before, but you can't recover from this one. I got to give it to Jaggy. He doesn't give up. What a waste. Yeah. Think if he'd have used his powers for good and not evil. So I can't remember what Ray's style is, but it's very similar to that of the Fist of the South Star, which basically you can use your fingers like they're knives. You're a dead man, Jaggy. Yeah, that's Kenshiro's tagline is you're already dead. Oh, this would just oh my god. This would be terrible. I would say I can't even imagine it, but there it is right in front of us. So now the Fist of the North Star can also heal. He doesn't have to be destructive. He can use those pressure points to heal you as well. She's the second character in this show whose disability is a psychological reaction to PTSD. And yeah, being in love with a woman that you can't be with is hard as hell. For those who came late, he cured this little girl of her uh, mutism with his techniques, which is weird if you think about it, because both of them have psychological issues, but yet he could heal one with his technique, but not the other. I was really melodramatic when I was 19. I loved all this stuff. I still do, but I realize now that there's a little bit of cheesiness to it. As you can see, it's a post apocalyptic world. A nuclear war happened in the far flung future of 1990 something. And here we have the Mad Max thing. Tina Turner sadly did not gather this army. It's a different boss. We don't need another hero. Ba-da-boom. We don't really know the way home. Yeah, I know the lyrics are different. And here, maybe I shouldn't give it away, but this is Rao. We haven't seen him since the beginning of the movie. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm here till the end of the movie. Be sure and tip your waitress. Here is Yulia, who is Ken's soulmate. The whole reason why he's on this journey is to find her again. Shin here fought him, thought he'd killed him, left him, or didn't really think he'd killed him, but he thought he would die, left him to die. And he forced Yulia to come along with him because Jaggy had lied and said that she loved him. I don't think he has a future as an inspirational speaker. I helped you find your girl. Now help her, your sister, really. Help me find mine. To be fair, Ken doesn't have a future as an inspirational speaker either. He speaks mainly with his fists. What the world needs now is Ken's fast fists. They're the only thing that can put bad guys in their place. Yes, the pink-haired lady, Julia, or either that or the little girl whose name I can't remember. They do have they do have features as well something. And Raul has gathered an army that is worthy of Pink Floyd's The Wall. We don't need no education. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum, ba-da-bum-bum-bum. The TV show has this wolf character. Thank you very much, Charlotte. You're way too kind. You're way too kind. If I maybe trained my voice, there might be a thought in that. But sadly, I just read, do my job, pet my dog, and wonder how long I would survive this battle. In the TV series, that wolf person is fought by Ken. I kind of like that the movie and the TV series have very subtly different plots, but they still have the same theme. Oh, he's the one that's able to turn his body to steel. Never mind. I thought the other one could turn his body to steel. I don't know. Yeah, the wolf guy, I can't remember his name, but he has really bad table manners. We don't need no desperation. What we need is skin control. Transform our flesh now into copper. Rao, please leave the wolf clan alone. Someday I want to watch more of these. Write a book about this Rao's teachings on leadership. The four Quaker parakeets are being noisy. That's wonderful. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you very much. Be sure and tip your waitress. You're already dead. Rao doesn't even say it. He just does it. Doesn't even need to punch you, just transfers his key. I must leave. Hmm. Maybe I should notice it, but Julia's pretty pretty. Sadly, they still have a better relationship than I did in my marriage. Oh, I should be checking my chat a little bit better. Thank you. Howdy, Mikey Susie 4. I'm having a good weekend. If you have the time, feel free to go to Cosme. There is about 30 or 40 minutes, maybe closer to an hour. Gratuitous nudity. Considering this is anime, there really isn't much nudity though in this movie. That's maybe I shouldn't spoil it, but you've just seen all that there is in this film. There's a little more in the TV shows, but I and yes, Charlotte, Love at First Bite was the movie the other day. I don't know. I'm probably just seeing this text because I'm terrible with social media. It was very fun. Connie Cleary presented it on Cosme. It is the movie about romance from. Howdy, Turtle. I hope you're enjoying. We're watching Fist of the North Star, the post apocalyptic cartoon that takes Bruce Lee, Mad Max, throws it into a blender, and purees it into a beautiful anime drink. Oh, Ruh-oh. Ruh-roh, Raggy. You know, he's actually summing up my feelings at the end of my marriage pretty perfectly right there. Yeah, the Japanese know how to draw the female form. I got to give them that. Hmm. So instead of going on a dating app, I should gather an army, become an evil warlord, and invade my neighbor and steal his women. Brilliant. Why didn't I think about that? For those of you who've come in late, this is the hero of the film, Kenshiro, the Fist of the North Star. This is one of the anime tropes that I sometimes make fun of, but I actually love it here. They're showing, rather than telling, that he has made a long trip, more or less alone, through a desert wasteland in order to find his soulmate. I won't go into it. The TV series does something a little different. And while it's profoundly different, it's also heartbreakingly beautiful. I honestly like it better than what the movie does here, but this is still amazing to me. Yes, Turtle, glistening sand dunes. This is actually early 80s, but you're right. For the early 80s, it's pretty cool. For the late 60s, this would have been insanely good. The imagery and the symbolism in this scene is just, to me, profound. What happened around? It's all good, Turtle. Are you Mikey Susie 4? Hopefully you are. If not, that's cool too. Whoever you are, you're very welcome. Have fun watching the film that is, to me, the standard for anime. Oh, this fight's going way different than the one at the beginning. For those who are late, Ken and Shin fought at the beginning of this film. Shin won and left Ken thinking he would die, and forced Julia to go with him. And Ken's like, "What?" Because you got to understand, yes, he punched him hard, but he didn't punch him this way. And again, I'm going to shut up till he speaks, but oh, and thank you, Mikey Susie, for yes, 616 subs. I'm building. I know you are too, and we grow together. Thank you, sir. So the irony, they fight. Technically, Ken wins. And when I was young, that just hit me in the gut. They hated each other, but they respected each other because they both loved this. They understood how wonderful this woman was. You loved her even more than I did. No one can love or hate with more passion than a madman. It's the Tower of Babel. How the Uniparty believes our future is going to be. Just fill in the candidate of your choice, and we got him right here, or her. All right. So again, for those of you who came in late, the Fist of the North Star, it's a martial art that existed for hundreds of years and it survived the apocalypse. And there were three brothers who basically learned the style. There's Ken, Rao, and Jaggy. Rao and Jaggy became villains. Ken was Fist of the North Star because he was the good guy. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. Yes, this was strongly influential on a lot of the manime, is one of the videos calls it. Basically, the anime where the man is real manly and super powerful and over the top. Dragon Ball Z, maybe a little bit One Punch Man, several others. Rao is the main bad guy, but he has a lot more honor than really any of the others. But he's still the more evil because he's the more powerful. A friend of mine just said that there's actually a racial slur there. The term that the Japanese used on that gesture was "you're a round eye." Just thought I'd interject that because I need YouTube to take me down. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty and in dungeons. Oh, won't you please fight with Rao? Yeah, he doesn't even care about her at all. It's another reason why he's the most evil. There's not much romance in this guy's heart. He could not care less about loving her, banging her. He just wants her for bait. Again, for the people who came in late, I always forget this guy's name for some reason, but Ren looks like Shin, but he's not. He's one of Ken's allies. I like the soundtrack, but at the same time, you're right. Uh, Sometimes I wish they'd throw more music in. I'm pretty sure that either this was influenced by Highlander or Highlander was influenced by this because to me, the Kurgan and Rao, they look a lot alike. They have similar moments. They're not the same character at all. Rao is a lot more cerebral and, frankly, a lot more dangerous than the Kurgan. These are the sidekicks. Usually I get annoyed by sidekicks in movies, but I actually like these. They're just childish enough to be lovable, but not so much that I get annoyed and want them to just be eaten by a monster. The little girl there, again, for those who came in late, she was a mute at the beginning of the film, and Ken used his martial arts stuff to heal her, and now she's able to talk. Oh, I'm sorry, Connie. What would be good would be more of a music soundtrack on this. Oh, hey, we got people in the chat. Let's go back here. We have Last Call with Troy Pacelli. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, you should be offended. Thank you for enjoying. And thank you for giving me better lyrics, too. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is cheap and the girls are easy. Sadly, though, in this post apocalyptic world, the girls may be easy, but the grass is not cheap. Yes, he wants her for bait because he knows that Ken will come to rescue her because that they're soulmates, and even atomic bombs and master martial artists cannot destroy their love. It's an epic tale that makes Romeo and Juliet look like wusses. Actually, it kind of does. Do you guys see what I see? I mean, I see the Kurgan only with massive martial arts powers. I've seen this in a lot of anime. I shouldn't give it away, but he's not truly crucifying her. But I have seen that in a lot of other anime where the main lady, one of the romantic ladies, is literally crucified by the bad guy to demonstrate his evil. I do enjoy ruthless warlords. I kind of wish I was a ruthless warlord, but I just ain't got it in me. One, I don't have the martial arts skills, and two, I just couldn't do. I couldn't crucify a woman. A guy, maybe, actually, probably, but a woman, I couldn't do it. Last call, it's okay. Do weekend stuff, share out, hit the like, and I am glad you showed up. Watched even just a little bit. The Fist of the North Star. True evil when you think that hope is a weakness, that it's unhealthy. Shin versus the entire Viking nation. For those of you who came in late, Fist of the North Star is where you know internal pressure points and you punch someone and they literally explode. Fist of the Southern Cross, which is at least something similar to what Shin uses, where your fingers are basically like knives and you can cut people into pieces with your fingers like that. And I love that Rao is smiling there. It's like, I finally have a worthy opponent. This prequel to Black Stallion is weird. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of awesome deaths in this. I shouldn't be laughing, probably, but there's a lot of awesome deaths in this movie. I don't even try to keep up with the carnage count. No, Ray. If only Ray in Star Wars was more like this, it would have been so cool. Yeah, Julia on the crucifix is just, it's profound. Rao is so elegant in his evil. Death should be savored like fine wine. And poor Ken, he's been walking for ages. He knows something's up, but he has no idea what he's about to walk into. Here we go. The 80s action music. Whether you like it or not, it's better than some K pop. I'm teasing. Ah, Ray fighting for his friend, and it's so. And you saw how much of a badass Ray is, and Rao's not even breaking a sweat. It's better than most hip hop, I would say, Mikey. Before I played this, I played the theme song to the TV show, and I love the theme song, even though I only understand about 5 words of it. The theme song is about how you're in shock from all the devastation around you, and you loved someone for so long, and you haven't seen them, and you're just striving to find them, and you wonder if you ever will. And Ray is about to do something that just about any other foe would be devastated by. What will happen when he goes against Rao the Conqueror? What? Oh no, my friends are in trouble. I should have gotten there earlier. Oh. And unless you've watched at least half of this, you can't get the impact of that. You've got so much invested in that character. You love him so much. He's so cool. And now he's just gone. At least he died to help a friend out. How many people can say that? See, Ken believes in earning respect. Raoul believes you just demand it. Which one is better? Don't do it. Raoul is the one big boss that hasn't fought Ken. This is the first time they fight in this movie, anyway. That's so gross. I got to admit, if I had to be any of the villains in this show, it would be Rao. I definitely wouldn't want to be Jaggy. He's too despicable and he suffers too much. But he suffers for his own fault. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Again, the Incredible Hulk powers. Oh, you can tell Rao is going to enjoy this. Finally, a worthy opponent. Oh, maybe I have bitten off more than I can chew. Maybe good is stronger than evil. Um, I'm I think they're actually not truly brothers. I think that Orion adopted them before the nuclear war. He adopted orphans and taught them the martial arts skills of the North Star. And as you can see, some of them ended up better than others. So they're brothers in that they were raised together, but I don't think that they're literal brothers. I have something to say. It's better to burn out than to fade away. Oh wait, that was the bad guy. Never mind. Well, that was convenient. And not to spoil it, the ending in the TV is similar, but it's also profoundly different. And he just blocks them all like it's really no big deal. See, that's what makes Ralph so much better than the other bad guys. He knows to block a punch. You don't want to be an NPC now. Only the PCs are going to make it out of this alive. Maybe. Huh. The spiritual, mystical powers are building up lots of forces that the weather is demonstrating. And finally, someone's actually got a punch through to Rao. Much better. Get him, Ken. Oh, the first person that the technique of 100 punches didn't take down. But it sure hurt him. They're both in a bad place. This is the battle we all waited for. I I wonder what you will think of the ending. I know what I thought, but I wonder what you will think. Oh, Rao lost his helmet. Oh, tag. That can't be good. That can't be good. Oh, I hope you're okay. I know you guys have had plenty of rain, Connie. Do you like it, Mikey? I'm glad you do. I love this movie. I just love this movie. The TV show is at least as good, if not better. Storm's coming. It's because of this battle. They're nearly equally matched. I mean, it's almost a perfect yin yang. The only difference is one's good, one's evil. They're so powerful that even buildings can't stand from the energy that they generate. Oh, oh, more scars. It's a good thing chicks dig scars. Ken needs to use the favored five-fingered death punch. Yes. Oh, it's such an even fight. Oh, ah. Blow for blow. It's so even. Who's going to win? It's not an American movie. We aren't sure who it could be. We know that a lot of XP is being racked up here. Oh, damn. Raoul's the one who speaks that. That's what his sensei said to him before he murdered him. Raikin was their sensei, basically their adopted father. I'm glad that I watched this when I was 19 because I'm kind of afraid, as cynical as I've become in my 50s, I would watch that and think, oh my gosh, and maybe that's what you're thinking. Doesn't explain where Julia went or what happened to her, but somehow she just disappeared. I'm glad you love it, Charlotte. I do too. And I will keep you safe. You will keep me close. And rain will cause the flowers to grow. I don't want to spoil it, but the rest of this is him walking and having hallucinations and the final music. It's actually beautiful and impactful to me, so I want to actually watch it, but I will talk over it a little bit. I do like the 1984 version of Dune, Charlotte. I really do. Uh, I there I do see some similarities. So here he's walking through this waste world, and it doesn't really say. Maybe he's seeing this for real, but I think he may be imagining it because he looks again and it's just all gone, and he's just seeing the world that's lost and gone. Oh yeah, that would be great, Charlotte. Yeah, stream it. It is free to stream on here. It's a little bit I don't know about complicated, but it's not as self-evident as I'm used to. And I'm looking at your other chat. I hope it's okay to share. Yeah, Once Bitten is a film. I've seen that. I've seen Once Bitten. I prefer Love at First Sight, but Once Bitten is also fun. The Alan Smithy 4.5 hour version is the best one, according to Mikey. Uh, Connie saying the 1984 version is much better than the ones that came out later. And oh, you're streaming my show. Oh, that's great. And you actually have more experience than me in a lot of things, but I'm trying to pick up what I can. There he is. And the reason it was impactful to me, I don't often like to talk about this, and I won't mention it again probably, but I was desperately in love with a girl for about 10 years when I was younger. And I remember I don't usually have a pretty good grasp on reality, but sometimes I would actually physically see her there, but she wasn't really. And then there were reasons why I knew that that was impossible. So I never, I didn't break psychologically. I didn't dive into that world where she's there, but she's not. But I know what the hell he's going through right here. You want her to be there so bad that your subconscious just brings her there. Um, and then the rest of it is just the Japanese thing of him walking and seeing her. I will play it because I love it, but I'll also read a little bit. Let me first make sure that that I'm caught up in the chat. This is, yes, Mikey CZ4, the 1986 version. There are many sequels, and don't get me wrong, I have yet to see something that I did like, other than the live action version, which we will not discuss. Yeah, the live action version was a freaking travesty, but the cartoons, the few that I've seen, are all amazing. The first season of the TV show is amazing. So well written, such depth of character. Simple because of the cartoon media, but enough depth that I at least fell in love with these characters. I'm going to read a little bit while this goes on. Kenshiro is a martial artist and the 64th successor of the Hokuto Shinken style. It's a fictional style. Considered one of the greatest successors in its 1,800-year history. Kenshiro spent his days wandering the wasteland in search of his lost love, Yuria. He fights evil and injustice as he goes, killing the wicked and the cruel wherever he finds them. Kenshiro is violent and uncompromising, but he is not cruel. It talks about how he was raised by Raikin, who's the actual master of the style, until he's murdered by Rao. He and Rao and Jaggi were raised by him. And I guess it's going to play again if I don't stop it. So let's stop it because you've watched it. Oh, Anonymous Panda, no, I'm sorry that you're late. I'm glad that you're here. The movie is in fact finished, but I am so grateful that you're here. If you want to watch this, there's a free version on YouTube. You got to look up the 1986 version though, because the other versions, which are also really good, don't get me wrong, but the 1986 version is the one that caused me to fall in love with this. Mikey Susie 4, real anatomy was studied to depict the gory explosions from the villains. Yes. Yeah, I mean, while I think that they profoundly exaggerate what pressure points can do, and while I'm no badass martial artist, I know enough to know that there are pressure points and some weird crap can happen if you know just how to hit them and exploit them. The Japanese creators did so well with the anatomics. Yeah, correct. And Charlotte, I'm trying to learn live streaming. Any tips on Discord will be great. I'm brand new to Discord. So Troy Pacelli, I don't know. Do you know anything about it, Mikey? Troy Pacelli is the best in my knowledge with Discord. I am maybe not a Discord virgin, but, not very experienced. Troy Pacelli. Yeah. Hopefully it's okay that I share that he's chatting in Discord, that he has to remember to update Discord, MeWe, X. Yeah, I've got to figure all that stuff out. I tried to start streaming here and on X, but evidently I've got to upgrade to X, and I got to kind of chill on investing money into this for a bit. I'm not broke, but I've got to kind of chill for a bit till I build up a little more cash. Mikey Susie 4, American wrestler John Cena has said that Fist of the North Star is his favorite anime movie. It is mine as well. There's others that I love, but like your first love, nothing, very, very rarely can a woman ever compare to the first love. Well, very rarely will an anime movie compare, in my heart, to Fist of the North Star. Connie Clear says, Charlotte, try YouTube tutorials for Discord. I'm going to close down the Cosme. Charlotte, not Discord. YouTube streaming, I know a bit more about. I'm still, like I say, probably one of the least experienced in here. I use StreamYard. To me, that's the easiest way to do the kind of streaming things that at least I want to do on YouTube. And then Cosme is fairly simple to figure out, although I'm still a little clunky with it because it's not quite as intuitive as I'd like it to be. But yeah, I do know that there are YouTube streaming tutorials and a fairly good number of Yardstream. That's what I recommend doing, is check out Yardstream. It's very user friendly, at least for the basics. Mikey Susie 4 doesn't use Discord anymore. And like I say, I signed on for the first time the other day when Troy invited us all in there. I'd never actually gone on StreamYard before. Connie Clear says StreamYard is a good one. Y'all let me know if there's any better software, but I noticed that's what nearly everyone uses, and I've mostly been happy with it. Connie Clear says Restream is a bit touchy but good. I know a thing about Restream. Charlotte, StreamYard's good, letting you know which destinations to use for your streams. X will charge you for a link between the two. Facebook, at least for now, is free. And the only thing is, I don't like to use Facebook because they're a lot more likely to, even more likely than YouTube, in my experience, to ding you when you talk politics. And as you all know, I'm silly enough to talk about it all too often. Connie Clear, I've looked into Rumble. I started to try to stream, but it was asking for money, and reference back to I need to kind of chill on spending money on this for a bit. If I'm wrong, please let me know, because I would love to start doing some streaming on Rumble, if only so that I can say what the heck I want to say and not get dinged for it. So on HokutoFandom.com, their wiki about Kenshiro. Kenshiro was born in the land of Shura as part of the Hokuto Sake line. He and his older brother Hyo were caught in a fire in Taisaidan. This is all stuff that's actually new to me, because I've watched the movie and one or two others, and the first season of the TV show, but there's a lot of stuff out there that I haven't watched. So there's a lot that I don't know about the lore. They were rescued by Hahaja. When an invasion broke out in the land of Shura, Jukai sent Kenshiro along with Rao and Toki, who is in the TV series. You don't see him in many of the movies. To Raiken, who's their sensei, to take care of them, with one of the brothers trained in the ways of Hokuto Shinken in order to save the land of Shura. Rao, Toki, and the baby Kenshiro would fall into the care of Raiken, the master of Hokuto Shinken. Raiken would later train all three of the children in the style. Kenshiro became an adoptive brother to Rao and Toki, and Jaggy's in there somewhere, who were themselves biological brothers. So Rao and Toki, who you don't know, really were biological brothers, but Ken is not. Jaggy was also adopted by Raiken. This would set in motion their eventual cataclysmic rivalry. After the nuclear war of 1990-something and the death of Raiken, Kenshiro left with his fiancée Yuria, or Julia as they often call her, but it's according to this, it's supposed to be pronounced Yuria, to find a future for themselves in the post-apocalyptic world. However, this was curtailed by Shin, and if you saw the beginning of the movie, you saw this, a rival from the Nanto Koshuken school, the school of the Fist of the Southern Cross, or South Star, depending on which movie you watch, who defeated Kenshiro. And you saw how much of a badass he was, so it's like, what? Shin defeated him? The hell? And engraved the trademark 7 scars on his chest before kidnapping Yuria for himself. Kenshiro survived his ordeal, spent the next year wandering the wasteland for revenge. During this time, he developed the killer instinct needed to survive in the war-torn age, befriended 2 young orphans, Bat and Lin, and you saw them. They follow him on his journey. He discovered that Shin had assumed the title of king and was leader of the eponymous King organization. They show this in the TV series. They didn't show it in the movie. After defeating Shin's 4 generals, he infiltrated his capital city, Southern Cross, to settle things once and for all. And because there are spoilers, I won't read any further. But you saw in the movie, Ken eventually finds that Jaggy is impersonating him, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I just suspend my disbelief, number one. And number two, it does make sense if you just retcon it in your head and you're like, oh, he just discovered that Ken is still alive and he's so despicable, he wants everyone to blame Ken for his own evil acts. Yes, I'm sorry, David Riley Plus. The cartoon is over. We just watched it, but there is a free version online. Uh, um, if you would like, and you don't have to, obviously, but if you'd like, you can play that concurrently with this and listen to my wacky commentary. Thank you for showing up. I'm glad to see you and welcome here. I've not seen you before. Thank you for showing. Mikey Susie 4 was produced by Toei Animation, the same studio who worked on the TV series that was airing at the time. Same cast and crew working on both projects, evidently. The next cartoon is coming up. Well, I haven't really scheduled one. I know I was thinking about doing cartoons every Saturday morning. Just depends on the time. Y'all let me know what time is best for you guys. Ashton is who is on here is Charlotte Nightstar the Werewolf might do a live stream of the first half of Dune. That would be great. And I know, no, you're gonna do fine because the community walked me through my first deal with Cosme. And while this may not have been the smoothest thing you ever saw, it was definitely an improvement and smoother than when I played Kung Fury for the community. I thought that would be a great thing to start my movie stream party career with. Mikey Susie Ford loved to be part of that channel. Used to own Dune 1984. Did enjoy Denis Villeneuve's take on the Frank Herbert classic later on. Mikey Susie 4 grew up with the Dune novels. And let's see. I closed it down, but I will get it back up. Hold on. Forgive me for a little bit of silence as I get it back up. Oh, yes. And Charlotte, you said you were streaming it, and now I'm actually seeing that. Thank you very much. You are so kind. I love this community. I think the quickest thing is going to be to go to my history. And there it is. Open link in a new tab. There it is. All right. Oh, no, that's this TV show intro, which is cool too, but that's not what you're wanting. Well, heckle. There it is. There it is. Save link, open image, open link in a new tab. Sorry for my fumbling here. Here you guys go. This is the link to the free version. For all I know, it's pirated. Hopefully, we're not getting this poor guy in trouble. But that's the free Fist of the North Star that you can watch on YouTube. I really love this film. I don't know if you will, but it seems like most of the people, or the 2 or 3 of the people in the community, have loved it. I'm glad you do. And you know what? I'm going to make Charlotte a moderator so that she can share her stuff in the link. Moderator. We're gonna make her a standard moderator. Nobody knows what I'm doing. Ha ha. There we go. Charlotte, you should in the next minute or two, and I'll keep talking at least for a minute or two, partly just to hear the sound of my own voice and partly to give you the time to be able to put the links that you need in the chat. Anything you feel like you want to share. You're good people. I trust that you're not some weird spammer who's going to ask us for money to save Nigerian or Arabian princes. And since I'm going to be doing this for another minute or two, I probably need to have something to share. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to basically shake it up a little bit. I don't want to be on here for more than maybe 10 or 15 more minutes. because like I need to eat and stuff. But in order to have some decent content until the ending, if anyone would like to come on the panel with me and we can have a discussion about anime, about this movie, about anything that you want, and then, you know, we'll give Charlotte time to share her links. Sounds like she's sharing a wild cat, actually. But anyway, see you later. Stay on Discord. Okay. So I am on Discord, and you're sharing stuff. Let you know when I do a live stream. I might do one at 1 p.m. my time, which is Pacific Standard, probably 2, I think, my time. And I might do Dune showing at 1 p.m. my time. Okay, very good. See, I am to Discord what you are saying you are to YouTube streaming. So, you know, Mikey Susie 4, I'm glad you asked, because I keep forgetting who I have and who I haven't. Yes, you can be a standard moderator. Abso-frickin-lutely. I know you will use your powers for good and not just evil. Standard moderator. Mikey Susie's a standard operator. Standard operator. Okay, and I am staying on Discord. I wonder if I'm bright enough to actually share that link. I'm probably not, actually. Charlotte Nightstar. No, forgive me, Charlotte. It's not because I don't want to share it, but I don't know if I'm going to be bright enough to get that link into the thing. Reference back to I'm not much more than a Discord virgin. Boy, there's so many inappropriate marks I'd better not say. One, I don't want YouTube dinging me, and two, I don't want to scare away the people that I've tried to build a community with. Oh, Mikey, there you are.
Oh, hey, how's it going, Curtis?
I'm glad that you enjoyed the show. Thank you for coming on here.
Oh, it's, I love so much anime like that. I got to tell you, one of our, me and Suzanne's nieces, Monique, actually got to dress up for her first Comic-Con a few years ago, and she dressed up as one of the characters from Sailor Moon. So,
that's fantastic.
yeah, she was dressed to the nines. Yeah, her mother really wanted her to attend one, and she really loved it. She had a lot of fun there with her boyfriend and everything.
And I'm going to share also, because we all grow together. I'm going to share David Riley Plus's link so that if people want to subscribe, and I would, you don't have to, obviously, but I like to encourage everyone to subscribe to each other. And we might, those of you who are mods, please feel free to share your own or anyone else's channels so that David Riley Plus can subscribe to us.
Oh, of course.
David Riley Plus is asking, do you want to collaborate with Parrot and Analytics? I do not know who that is. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, Parrot Analytics. Sounds familiar to me. But yeah, okay.
I would love to, if as long as they're good people. Heck yeah! I'm trying to figure this stuff out.
Oh, and thank you for the standard mod, Curtis.
Oh, 100%. I should have thought of it before now.
Oh, don't worry about that. Come on, you get busy, I get busy.
Oh, no.
By the way, our first movie stream yesterday went really well. We actually. Yeah, we got 15 likes, and
nice.
Everybody liked the Deadpool and Wolverine review, and so I'm really happy about that. We did pretty well yesterday.
I only caught a little bit of it. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, don't worry about it, man. We'll be doing this every Friday, different movies and stuff. But next Friday, I'm a little superstitious, so I don't do my own streams on Friday the 13th, but I will be doing Saturday the 14th, though, in the afternoon. So
nice.
Yeah, we're going to be doing Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, next week. So, yeah, next Saturday.
David, while I do want to collaborate, I also want to warn you, while I'm presenting this, I'm also not I'm not incredibly well versed in anime, so I just
Mhm.
want to warn you that I would have to be collaborating as the learning person, if you know what I mean. But
Learning curve. Yeah, me too.
I
Because I'm terrible when it comes to analytics.
oh
Because
yeah,
people
me
tell me
too.
to read it. Well, here's the thing. They tell me to read about it when you're going through your views and everything like that. And I'm still a fledgling, so I'm still learning.
I
And
understand. Me
I
too.
just look through them and I see all these views and I mean I'm fluctuating back and forth. My subs right now are at 189, or our
Right
subs
on.
at
Right.
189.
Right.
So we fluctuate. We go between 189, 190, then back to 189. So
Right.
it goes back and forth. I always say to people, "Hey, we just need 10 more people, and
Yeah.
then we'll
Exactly.
have our first
Yeah.
200."
And please feel free to leave your link in the chat. Maybe
Oh,
there's two or
sure,
three
sure,
people
absolutely,
who
yeah.
haven't subbed.
Oh, good.
I have had a gratifying growth in subs, but I don't. I still have an embarrassingly small amount of viewing time, and so I'm trying to figure that out. How to get more views, but which I know the best thing is just to make better content. I know that.
Yeah.
So
Are they?
um,
Well, are they giving? What's your? Because when you reached 500, right? So, what's their? What's their
the
policy after you reached 500? What did they
well,
say to you?
the only thing I'm missing is basically you need to have 3,000 watch hours in the last year, and I guess I can check. Hold on. I want to say that I have about 500, which again, when you consider how many subs I have, and this is no ding on the people who are subbed to me. I
Right.
realize that it's on me to make the content, not you to have to watch it. But
Yeah.
YouTube Studio, boo, 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 boo.
Okay, so
Um,
I did post our channel there in the chat, so you can subscribe there. And I do have one of my previous um, webcam series. In fact, I probably should go ahead and post. I will eventually. I'll go back and post Red Dwarf.
yeah.
We had such a huge uh, accomplishment. We had a lot of people love my first two episodes I reviewed of Red Dwarf. I
Oh,
couldn't believe
nice.
it. It
That's
was so
fantastic.
nice. And I was like, even LDG, LDG Free the Net,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
paid, yeah, yesterday he paid me such a great compliment. And he said, Mikey, he says, you were so descriptive. I love that. You were so detailed about Red Dwarf. And when you did the quotes and you quoted it in the way that they speak on the show, he
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
he was like so impressed. I said, you know how hard it is to impress LDG. We love you, LDG, but I know how hard it is to impress you. And
I I
I was
know
just
he's
blown
someone
away
I
by his
want to know better.
compliments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just blown away
Yeah.
by his compliments. I was like,
That's
wow, thank you.
fantastic. That's
Yeah, yeah,
fantastic. I've
yeah.
tried to interact more with him, even if I don't ever like actually collaborate with him. He's someone I want to know better because
Oh, for
I've heard
sure.
so many amazing things about him. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies, who I believe
Yes.
has a movie in another couple of hours or has a stream in another couple of hours.
Oh,
He's the
okay.
one that turned me on to LDG.
Oh,
Horse
nice.
Horse 123. The original Korean is much better than the English dubbed. David Riley. Parrot
Okay.
Analytics measures demand for TV shows, anime, and movies. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Parrot Analytics.
Yeah, and I told Connie it's totally cool. You can find it now if you go into my live streams. You can find the Deadpool and Wolverine review there from yesterday. Just
Okay.
make sure that you've seen the movie beforehand because there was a few spoilers. I will not lie. There was a few.
Gotcha. I
Yeah,
understand.
I just want to make sure everybody's seen it by now. So we did get a lot of positive response. We had a poll that was up beforehand, and we asked, people if they wanted to see it more than once, and there was, it was in the grade, A, B, C, D, and F. I think the 10% F grade was probably from our brother Gorilla. That's a joke, which is fine. I told him that's cool, man. That's fine. But the other 90% was divided. It was between A's, B's, and C's. The C grade being you want to at least see it one more time, and then of course the A's and B grades, maybe two or more times, and
Right on.
they each of them all had the A, B, and C all had a 30% favor. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. That's why it's so popular. This film is we really are talking about when it comes to comics, we're really talking about the current anti-hero. That is exactly what Deadpool is.
Right.
He's
Right.
not meant right. He's not meant to be on the winning side, and he's definitely not meant to be on evil bad side. So you're just like he's in the middle. Uh, you know, it's like when you know, do or do not, when Yoda said, do or do not, there is no try. Yeah, it's like, but that's the thing. Deadpool breaks up the stigma and just goes right in the middle and says, I'm in the middle of the road. I could get wiped out, but hey, I'm right here. Yeah. And I mean, it's so fun. And then when you see Wolverine with him in it, and it's just, and of course, Wolverine was like an early anti-hero, and he always has been in
Yeah.
the comics. I mean, he's
Right.
always been the anti, goody goody guy.
Yeah.
Even though he has battled his own demons over the years, and of course, he's immortal. So
Yeah. Virtually. Yeah. I mean,
virtually
I know he
right. So,
finally ages when he's what, 300 or something like
oh
that,
my
but
gosh, yeah.
old
But
man
there's the great,
Logan.
yeah. Have you seen the movie yourself, my friend?
Oh yeah, Wolverine and Deadpool. Yes, I have. I love
Yes.
that movie.
So don't you love the
Yes, I
beginning
have.
when he's like there at the grave where we left him back at Logan and he's like trying to revive him? He says he's
Oh
not
my
dead.
gosh.
He
Yes.
regenerates. I
Well,
mean, oh my God, so great. So
have
great. I
you
love
have
that.
you have you seen the Hishi, how it should have ended
Yes,
version of that of Logan? It's
yes, yes.
basically it's almost exactly the same thing, only he shows up and he's actually dead.
Right.
David Riley Plus, I have subbed to you. I have subbed to Parrot Analytics. I'm absolutely open to collabing. I just want to warn you, I will. I have a learning curve I need to come across. Not that I'm unwilling to do it. I just don't want you to think, oh my gosh, this is going to be a great person. And I hope I am a great person, but I'm still learning about YouTube. So I just want to be open, full disclosure. So, I think that's a big problem with the world that we have. I should be a shady used car salesman. Why, yes, David Riley Plus. I have umpteen gajillion subscribers and I have
Well, he
thousands
has.
upon thousands of hours of view time.
Well,
But I'm absolutely up
he's
for it.
getting started. No, no,
I'm getting
David, I
started.
appreciate that you are getting started.
Thank you.
Uh, as a fledgling channel, you've got 4 subs, which is nothing to be ashamed of because
100%.
most people are, still trying to get themselves started. Um,
Exactly.
I will recommend I will recommend 2 people to you, and one of them is actually in the chat for you, David. If you want to start doing streams, Miss Connie Cleary is one of the best master
She
moderators you'll
is.
ever find. And also
Yes.
Lemon Pie is a great guy. Both of them, I would highly recommend them both to your channel, David, when you're ready to start streaming and
Oh,
use them as the moderators for your channel because they
Connie
are really, really
Cleary.
wonderful.
Going to go
Yes,
to her
Connie Cleary.
channel and leave.
Yeah.
And I think I missed a comment from Gorilla's random thoughts. I am
Oh, he
so
said
sorry.
Kapla. Yeah,
Kapla,
Gorilla said
sir. I'm so
Kapla
sorry I
earlier.
missed you. That's one of the
Yeah.
dangers of these movie streams is sometimes you're so busy with the movie and you forget to check your chat because you got to go from window to window and
I,
uh,
yeah,
um,
yesterday on the stream, Gorilla was gracious to help me with it because with a movie review like Deadpool and Wolverine, which has so much to offer, so much to talk about it,
it
and we were
is,
there
yeah.
for about an hour and 40 plus minutes, which is pretty standard for me. I try to get at least under 2 hours. Sometimes I can go 3. I don't try to go more than 4. 4 is like the max I would go to. But last night it was kind of it was kind of quick because pretty much everybody that had already seen it. So it was nothing new they were learning. But I think Gorilla hasn't seen it yet. And I was like, well, that's all right, Gorilla. I said, just when you hear like something that sounds like it's a major plot point or something, just put your hands over your ears, go la 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 la. So, you know, it's funny. It's
It
cool.
is
Yeah.
no, and I'm just distracted because I'm so terrible at freaking um multitasking, and I'm trying to look at all these things that like I know Charlotte is streaming me, and that's fantastic. And I wanted
Mm.
to at least take a look,
Yeah, well,
at her
of
her
course.
part of it and give her a
Yeah.
like and leave her a
Yes,
comment as
we
well.
call our fellow uh Curtis and I and Connie are very good friends, and we call Miss Connie our bird woman of YouTube, and
She is the bird
she
woman of
has
YouTube.
such cool, yeah, she has such cool content, especially the bird one with Fluff Chick, which she's
Yes.
showing down there. So yeah, David, I think your channel looks very cool, and we're looking forward to more associations and collaborations, sir.
Yeah, and I encourage you to make content because if you feel maybe embarrassed, because I get the feeling that maybe we're not all the most polished, and maybe
Oh,
there's a
no.
lot of other people with more skills, but absolutely make some content, get your
Oh,
voice
sure.
out there. Um, you don't know how far you can grow until you get started, and
Oh, exactly.
uh, even though YouTube has its issues, it's still a great free platform as long as you kind of abide by the rules, which are mostly reasonable. Mostly,
Oh, yeah, I think so.
um, you
I know
know,
that LDG is going to. I know our friend LDG without saying too much, but I know he's going to help benefit the YouTube community in so many ways, and he's all ready to launch. I mean, he's all ready to go, and we're all encouraging him 1,000,000% to
yes.
help the cause. And so yeah, be there for sure, David, when we get ready for that to come.
All right. So
So without saying so
Charlotte,
too much, yeah.
I'm going to
So
check out her channel because she said she was going to start streaming, and I wanted to
okay.
see.
And what is the one streaming now, or
Well, right now she's streaming my stuff, so I may need to just call this a stream so that she can pay attention to what she's doing. I'm going to reach out to her uh, on Discord. If you need any help with StreamYard. All right. An old man wearily typing on Discord, tired blogging. All right. So, thanks. I'm glad you get
Charlotte?
the.
Suzanne just grinned at you when you said that.
Oh, wonderful. Man, man, man. Okay, okay. So, do, 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 do,
Thank
no,
you for
no.
saying so, David. Yes, she does. Um, and I was going to recommend David. If you do some shorts yourself, I mean, I haven't quite learned myself how to do them yet, so maybe I shouldn't be really saying. But I have heard that the Gorilla has put out a lot of great shorts for just a few minutes and stuff, or a couple seconds, like less than a minute. Um, yeah, if you can do shorts that are like less than a minute long, just about anything. I've heard that that does boost some of your numbers when it comes to
Okay.
subscribers and friends, and it's worth a shot.
All right.
So if you're nervous.
This is what I've been waiting for. So she has her stream set up to go
Okay.
at 3 o'clock. So, I mean, I know maybe not all of us can go, but if many of us can at least go even for a minute or two or 5 or 10, and leave her a like, leave her a comment. I will likely watch the whole dang thing because she's spiffy, in my humble opinion, and I want to support her because she has some really amazing stuff. If you're at all interested in the Twin Peaks TV
Ah,
series,
right.
uh, I've done some blogging. I think my blogging is pretty decent, but hers is very top notch. So it just depends on whether you'd be interested in that topic, whether or
So
not you would like that.
This is
This is
Charlotte's dreams.
Charlotte's the chronic
Okay.
fatigue is real.
All
Charlotte
right.
the werewolf.
Charlotte the werewolf. Yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
Charlotte Nightstar. That's the word I was trying to remember. Charlotte
Charlotte,
Nightstar, the werewolf.
Charlotte Nightstar the werewolf. Okay.
Yes, yes.
There she is.
And she's
She's got
younger,
82
so
subscribers. Oh, that's good.
yes,
And 56
yes.
here.
She's relatively new, but if you look at her blog, and some of her stuff on that channel is really really good.
Yeah.
I think that's yeah. She hasn't got the stream going yet, but that's the stream. I think.
Well, I've gone to her YouTube channel and subscribed to her. I've got her on full subscription. So
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Let me make
Oh,
sure I've
here it
got
is.
her on
Okay.
full. I've
She's
got her
got
subscribed.
Yeah, okay. I have it here. I put a
Oh,
notification.
oh,
She's
thank
doing the
you.
first half of Spice Divers Dune alternative redo. Oh,
Okay,
nice. Yes.
that's cool.
Uh, she has that set up for 4 p.m., so an hour from now.
Okay, okay.
Well, that's my time, 4 p.m. Eastern. So yes, I'll
David,
definitely go there.
David, are you saying you want on the panel? You're absolutely welcome on here if you want that. I
Yeah,
guess it won't
certainly.
hurt to.
And I'll go to her. I'll give you the live watch. I'll send that to you in the chat there, David. If you want to come watch it with us. Hold on just a sec. Oh,
Gotcha.
what did I do wrong just now?
Oh man,
I did something crazy. Hold on a sec. Okay. Um, yeah, okay, hold on just a sec. Let me redo this. Okay, here we go. See, I'm still a newbie. I'm still learning.
we're all learning.
Oh yes. Okay. I'll post it here in the chat. This is her thing that's she set for 4 o'clock. There it is right there underneath Curtis's name. I
Huzzah!
posted it. There it is. That's for the alternative redo of Dune, part one that she's doing at 4 p.m.
Yeah, cool beans.
Eastern time.
Okay, so we've done some networking, we've done some talking. I guess she has about an hour. We could
Yeah,
talk a little longer.
sure we
Honestly,
can.
though I would love to talk, I want to keep it a little bit short because I need to eat.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
but
yeah. No, I don't want you to
but
starve. I just
but
had lunch.
but yeah, what's one last topic before we call it a stream? What's your favorite
Oh,
anime yourself?
my favorite anime. Uh, I'm crossed. I did enjoy when I first started watching, like me and Raquel, Dragon Ball Z.
Hmm.
Some of the later uh, incarnations of Dragon Ball. Um, let's see, what was there was one that had it was robotic anime, but I can't. There's so much, I can't even remember the name of the one where I had like lots of robots, um, like robot men and women and stuff. And um, wow, yeah, I can't shoot. I can't really think of it, Curtis.
No, that's
Sorry.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah, but
I
mostly Dragon Ball Z. That's how I got acclimated to it, anime. Um, when I watched early in life, I got to watch Voltron, Defenders of the Universe,
hmm
and I
hmm
watched Battle of the Planets. Uh,
Yes,
that
yes, I love that show.
the G Force, yeah, great
That's
stuff.
on YouTube now too, or
Yeah, it is.
was.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And then of course you watch what they call like the puppetry type of stuff, with Jerry Anderson, Thunderbirds and all of those you know,
Right
cool.
on.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, those are awesome. Yeah,
If
I'm definitely old school. I love a lot of that stuff.
I love
Some of
the
the
Battle for
older
the
stuff.
Planets,
Yeah,
100%. Really, that was my first true anime, but I didn't think of it as anime when I was a
yeah. Well,
teenager.
I
I
mean,
didn't
it's
know
great
anything about
animation.
it.
Yeah, it's great
Yeah,
animation. And
it was
Thundercats.
fun.
Oh,
Thundercats, yeah. But because of the life I've lived, I honestly have never watched it. I've always wanted to, but I never have.
oh, you need to watch it. Yeah,
Um,
there is some available on YouTube. There's some episodes of Thundercats. I know that one or two creators have like a playlist that you can pull them up. I know I've seen them before.
okay,
Um, and
okay,
yeah, there's just some good stuff there. Um, they also have, well, of course, there's always running all the time from Hasbro's GI Joe, so you
right
have that
on.
running all the time. And then let's see what's the other one. A lot of live action stuff from Shout Studios. They got
Oh
Space Gangster
yeah, Shout
99.
Studios. I love
Yeah.
those guys.
Oh, me
Mostly
too.
because of their taking Mystery Science Theater under their wing, but
Oh yeah, MST3K.
oh yeah, I love me some MST3K.
Crow. Crow's my
Yes.
favorite. I
Crow is
really enjoy
awesome.
Crow. Oh,
I
oh
love
yeah.
them both though. I love Tom Servo too. He's pretty funny,
Oh
but
yeah,
yeah,
Tom
Crow
Servo.
Crow
Yes.
is awesome.
Now, who was your favorite? I'll ask you. Who was your favorite host? What was it when Mike was on, or what, or
You
Joel?
know, for a long time it was Joel because that's the way I tend to be is I like the original stuff. And don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, I love Joel, but by probably the seventh or eighth season, Mike had not only won me over, I
yeah.
actually he is my favorite, although it's not by a whole lot.
Oh yeah, no,
Uh,
no, no.
but yeah,
Joel, when he first started, I was like, I got used to him, right? And
yes,
you see him for a
yes,
while, and then when Mike replaced him, I was like, okay, cool. Here's a
yes.
guy named Mike, just like
Well,
me.
but
And I was
yeah,
like, okay,
I didn't think about that.
yeah,
I,
right,
I
same
I'm a
name,
I'm a contrarian. I don't like change, so it took
right?
me a while uh, to basically realize that it doesn't have to be exactly the same for it to still
Exactly.
be good. Um,
I know I was notorious. Here is the thing is that what I love is when they're sitting in the theater and they're talking. These are obviously B movies, so they're not the best films that ever came out,
exactly, exactly.
for a while. But there's one that's I think it's called Teenage Alien, and which is real actually
Yes.
funny, which is so
Oh,
funny. And I caught myself because when I first saw that episode, I caught myself. I'm actually commenting too at the same time as they
yes,
are. And I was like, oh my
yes.
God, I remember this film, but it was so bad.
And
And
I
I was like, oh man,
and I have to
oh,
be
thanks.
careful because I've caught the habit of riffing. And
Oh
I will
man.
riff a movie even if I love it and if it is
Oh, of
good, but I
course.
know you have to be careful because you can ruin the experience for other people
Oh,
if you
yes. Well, there
overdo
was
that.
there was that B movie. I think you were there with us, Curtis. We did Rubber, right? With Gorilla Street. It's a B.
Oh,
It's definitely a B movie.
yeah, I
Rubber.
think I
Yeah, it's just
caught
called
10
Rubber.
minutes of that one. I think I did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I believe you did. And of course, pop culture curator, rest in peace, Ron was there
Yeah.
with us for what for ended up being the very last time I ever got to talk to the man
Oh, man.
online before he passed. I didn't know it at the time yet, but that was it. That was the last time. And I remember he was saying to us, it's like, guys, please, let's at least enjoy the movie. And I kept thinking to myself, yeah, I know, but in the past, we used to riff on the films ourselves. We were our own worst critics, and my wife had reminded me, about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and Attack of this,
Yes.
Attack of that.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
remember
riff
watching,
those.
yeah, oh, of course. Well, I used to riff on. Do you remember Toxic Avenger? The
Yes.
Trollhoff things? Oh my god, I'd seen, like, all 3 of those, and I could riff on this forever because it's like, "Oh my god, Toxic Avenger!" It's like Trollhon. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, well, of course. Love that old stuff." Um, And it's weird because some people were like, what, you like Toxic Avengers? I said, of course I do. Are you kidding?
Well,
I
some
love that stuff. I mean, Roger Corman films. I mean, somebody
yes,
reminded me yesterday, one of the very first Fantastic Four incantations was by Roger Corman. And it's like, oh my
yes,
God, I remember that film. Oh man, that's just insane. Yeah, it's
yeah. I
crazy.
love me some
Yeah.
Roger Corman, and of course, some of his stuff is better than others, but
Oh, of
at the
course.
very least, it's all fun to riff. If
Oh, for
it's
sure.
now some of Vincent Price's stuff with him is so good that I put them up as actual, maybe lower end, but I think of them as A-rate movies,
Oh, of
that
course.
are good whether you riff them or not.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, most of your Roger Corman stuff is intensely riffable,
Oh,
and
definitely.
I hope anyone who watches this or watches it on the rewatch, please let me know if my commentary was enough, too much, because I want you to be able to enjoy the film, but I also I don't one of my constructive criticisms about most of us when we do watch parties is I
Right.
sometimes wish that there was more commentary, because it's almost like why am I what I mean I we're watching it because we love the people in the community, but if you're not
Oh, of
part of the
course.
community, why would you bother unless there's at least a fair amount of something that's adding
Yeah.
to the experience. But let me know, please, if I overdid it, underdid it. I'm pretty sure if I made a mistake, it was probably in the realm of overdoing it.
No,
But
Curtis, I think you did a fine job, sir.
thank you.
For the limited time I got to see the rest of it, which I was really glad because I was looking forward to the
I'm
fight scene there
glad.
between
I'm glad
Raul
you
and
did.
Ken. Oh my
Yeah,
God, so
to
good.
me I mean the ending is the best part, because
Yeah.
that was literally maybe not the first, but it was the first cartoon I ever watched
Yeah, that's cool.
where hold on, where the good guy technically doesn't win, and
Hey,
yet
Reese's.
I still enjoyed it. I'd seen stuff where the good guy doesn't win, and in my immaturity, I just hated it. The good guy's supposed to win.
Yeah, right.
But because I was only 19 when I watched this, but I saw this and I was like, it just kind of changed my worldview. Uh, Sometimes the good guy doesn't win, and it's just the way
Yeah.
life is. And but a movie has to, if it's going to do that, it has to hit a balance, or it kind of ruins the movie. And I think this movie hit that balance just perfectly,
Oh, I think so.
because
I definitely believe
he
so. Yeah.
doesn't die. He's still got a shot. And the bad guy, well, if you watch further, he is still a bad guy.
All right.
But, and I know it's cheesy, you know, I don't, most, I don't know that I would like it now as a 50-year-old, but when I was 19 and I see that little girl coming up and he actually stops and listens,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, wow. That, to me, then that's deep, because, we can all, the message there is that we can all change. And then at least it's like the Darth Vader and Luke in Return of the Jedi,
Right.
until that last
Because
breath, it's not too late. You can still change. You can still
yeah,
do
it's
different.
like he has that, you see it in obviously in Return of the Jedi. I'm sure everybody's seen that, so I know I'm not
Mhm.
spoiling anything.
Wait,
But after the
what?
fight with
That's his father? Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, no, no, no. Well, I mean, we already knew that before in Empire Strikes Back. But I'm just saying in Return of the Jedi, when he's up there and Luke's fighting the Emperor, what you see that moment, you sense that moment when you realize that Anakin has that change of heart. He says, "Well, first of all, I lost my Padme, which is kind of nice because I like the prequels for that, for the backstory. But then you realize towards the end of Jedi, you're like, oh, wait a second. but now he's trying to kill my only son.
Yeah,
Well, and of
exactly.
course,
That I thought
and
was
of course he found
dead.
out about Leia. Well, I mean, he found out about Leia later, but I mean,
Right.
that's okay. But he was fine with that. Luke was supposed to be the one who was going to. He was the next one to bring balance, and
He
I think
was
he
the new
realized that
hope,
at the
which,
exact moment and took care of the Emperor. Of course, we found out later on he wasn't dead yet, but
yeah.
okay.
Well, I try to pretend that as far as the Disney movies, and I don't want to get too deep on that because I know that some people are guilty of just hating it just to hate it. But I do not like and frankly resent the Disney trilogy. But
Yeah.
I also love Rogue One and Solo. I know
I love them
they
both.
were flawed.
Well, we own Solo, and
Yeah, I
we're
loved it.
trying to get Rogue One. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed both in the theater,
Yeah, yeah, me
and
too.
I don't think that. Okay, if somebody asks me, and I say with those Star Wars stories, right, is what they call them. If somebody asks me, were they expertly written? No. Was
Right.
the action pretty good? Yes.
Yeah.
I think some of the performances do stand out. I mean, I love Mads Mikkelsen as Galen Erso. I gotta
Right.
say, he's just one of the best actors out there, and he's a part of two other franchises. I mean, he was Le Chiffre in Casino Royale, which was awesome.
Right
Then you
on.
see him in, Doctor Strange.
Right on.
I mean, he's just good. I mean, he's just a good actor,
Yeah.
and I enjoy anytime he's on screen, I have to say.
I, w-
So I mean, that was wonderful. Uh,
I will
Now in
say
Solo,
I
yeah,
don't have any beef with any of the acting or actors
sure.
from the trilogy. Now, and I haven't watched enough of the TV shows. Like so many people are talking about Acolyte, and I have to kind of bow out of it because I have not watched it. So it would be completely unfair for me to say, I can talk about, well, I don't like what this actor or actress did or said,
Right.
but I can't really, in fairness, talk about the show in itself because I just haven't watched it.
Of course. And as I tell people, it's like most people were hating on the last three Star Wars films. And when I do eventually get to reviewing them, um, with Force Awakens and then The Last Jedi and then The Return of Skywalker, or The Rise of Skywalker, sorry. When I get to those last three, I am going to try to find a good piece or two in each film because I know it exists.
Oh
I
yeah,
saw them.
there's
I mean,
goodness, there's good things to point
of
out.
course. I don't like to harp on. That's the thing. I guess I'm an old fashioned, but I don't like harping on the negative of any film.
Right. Well,
I went through
yeah.
cinema courses. I went through a cinema course or two in college. Uh, I became my own worst critic because I'd sit there alone in a theater and watch what I thought was going to be a great movie, and then I see little bits here and there which were yeah they were great, but then there was other parts where you said, oh boy, okay, did I just waste my money? I never want to think that way. So it's like I always say, I put it another way. If I'm in the theater and if I have to go use the restroom about halfway through, well, then I'm really not. Maybe I'm not that invested in the film. But
Right. Right
yeah,
on.
right.
All
But I
right.
have to say, with Deadpool and Wolverine, I didn't go to the restroom once. We
Oh
actually went
yeah.
before we started.
All right.
Before it
Well,
started. So yeah, it was great. Yeah. Oh, and stay for the end credits too, of course. If anybody hasn't seen it yet, definitely
right.
stay for the end credits. Yeah.
Well, I stayed through the end of the end credits for this one
Yes.
mainly because I just love that haunting imagery. I know
Yes.
it's simple and subtle and maybe silly to some people, but I loved that when I was
Me
19,
too.
and I still do.
Yeah.
I'm gratified that it can still stir me. I I'm going to call it a stream, though. What do you have coming up, and what would you like to say as your final words?
Well, final words. Okay. All right. Final words.
I have to
No.
be dramatic.
Well, as everyone is aware now, 4 days a week, and we moved up the time frame to 1 p.m. Eastern. We do what we call Red Dwarf Mondays, and then we're still doing Secrets of Isis Tuesdays, followed by Greatest American Hero Wednesdays, and finally the A Team on Thursdays. And once we finish the Secrets of Isis, because it only has like 22 episodes for its live action back in the mid 70s, I did put in a poll, just a recent poll in the community section of our channel. And I asked, after ISIS is done, do you want us to move on to either TOS from Star Trek, or do
Hmm.
you want me to continue with Get Smart? Because I wanted to do Get Smart. That's one of the other things I wanted to do from the very beginning until the one Get Smart movie with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Steve Carell. And then also I think I had another choice in there. Yeah, three different choices. So please, if you get a chance, go to the community poll section there. Let us know what series you'd like me to start with on Tuesdays after ISIS is done. And
Right on.
yeah, so that's there. And then our next movie, like I said, that will be Saturday on the 14th. I think 3 p.m. Eastern is a good time because I'm not taking away from too many things that people are putting out during that time frame. Uh, and it is about Star Trek for the Voyage Home, which is pretty. It's a pretty simple film, and it's got a lot of fun moments. And I know there's a lot of Trekkers and Trekkies out there that love it. So that's all for next week. So yeah, give it a shot. And always, if you get a chance, watch us on Walton Streams on Fridays with Gorilla and Gorilla's Random Thoughts and Resolute Churn and Pleasant Valley Picker, PvP. The four of us all have a wonderful time breaking down and reviewing each of the Walton's episodes. Lots of fun there.
All right. And I am looking up, and I'm not meaning to interrupt you, but a little movie perp, I guess, is where David had first seen our friend the werewolf.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
according to I have the channel already in my second tab. She'll be
okay.
premiering it in 39 minutes and 39 minutes.
Oh, I'm
So she'll
already
be in 39
subscribed to her. So she must have been someone either in the community or Charlotte's already told me. And I say she, maybe I shouldn't assume it, but at least on the icon, it looks like a woman, which not meaning to judge, but doesn't necessarily mean one way or the other. But okay,
And
okay.
Suzanne was we were looking at Connie Clary's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I think that's one of the movies that Suzanne saw. Yeah, she
Oh,
laughed at that one.
nice.
Yeah, that's a great one too in
Clowns from
itself.
outer space.
Yeah, I do remember it. Yeah, I do recall it. Yeah, it is funny. It is. Yeah.
All right. Me, I've been doing stuff on kind of a random ish time Tuesdays and Thursdays. I try to figure out, it has to be after work, so it has to be after 5 o'clock my time. But I
Right.
try to make it early enough that hopefully I'm not competing with many streamers. There's so many, and there's so many good ones
Yeah,
that you end up
we do
you
have a
end
great
up
community, you and I.
we
We do.
do. We
Yeah.
100% do. And David, I hope you feel comfortable joining it. I understand, we may not necessarily be for everybody, but if you enjoyed it, you're absolutely welcome. Um, my channel has tended to be about politics, oddly enough, and that may scare you away, and I understand if it does, but I don't have a topic, but I'm probably going to do something. I'm going to talk about something either political or spiritual or philosophical.
Right.
I know it's awfully vague.
Yeah. Well,
Monday or
I
Tuesday,
know
Thursday.
Gorilla is going to be doing. Well, here's two other things that are coming up. I know Gorilla's
Oh,
going to
yeah, I'm
be doing
sorry.
a
Yeah.
special stream. No, that's okay. Gorilla's Random Thoughts. David is going to be doing a special stream on Tuesday night when they have the first presidential debate between Harris and Trump. He's going to be live streaming, so make sure you check out his channel. Also, I know Curtis, I know Connie has it. So, yeah, Connie, if you want to display Gorilla's Random Thoughts channel, uh, he'll have that set up for Tuesday night. And then on in November, when they have the election night, I'm going to be doing a live stream during the election night coverage. Everything's going on, and we're gonna have fun with it. Yeah, it won't be too political. We're just gonna, we will mention a few things, but the rest of it is
You,
just gonna be now who's in charge of the United
you know
States.
what I would love to see, and maybe this is what you're going to do, but I would love to see
Yeah.
somebody riffing both sides. I meant to be more centrist than I have been, but
Right.
anyway, you've watched enough of my stuff to know, and I don't want to
Oh,
dig
well,
into it here.
of course. Yeah.
Uh, and who the hell knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't
Oh, I
want to
don't think you're
be.
wrong.
I'm complaining about people being too closed-minded. I have to be careful about myself becoming too closed-minded because then I lose credibility with myself if nobody else.
Right. Well, what I'm thinking of doing is when I do my stream, I'm going to share a live thing that's coming from YouTube itself, because I'm sure they're going to be having live coverage going on, but I'm going to have it muted so then that way we can riff on what they're saying. Some of the journalists, it's like, oh yeah, man, what's she doing? Yeah, all this stuff. Yeah, we won't have to hear the journalists. We'll just kind of like, I'll have a couple of people on the panel say, hey, would you like to do a voiceover and just make fun of some of these journalists,
Oh my
and stuff?
gosh,
Oh my
that's
gosh,
crazy.
yeah. While the
That's
election night's going on, all right, we can do that. Oh, Trump, man, yeah. He'll do that. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we're gonna have some fun with that. But when is election night? When is that in November? Do you know, Curtis?
November 5, I don't know what that day is. I think it's typically the first Tuesday in November.
Is it the
If
first Tuesday or the second
I
Tuesday of
think it's the
November?
first.
The first. Okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would
that's close
almost
to my
have to
sister's
be because.
birthday.
Oh, is it? Well,
Yeah, my
happy
sister's born.
birthday!
Yeah,
Yay!
yeah. One of my sisters is turning. Oh wow, she's turning. Let's see, 71, 2000. Wow, she's turning 53 that night. November, if it's on November 4th, if you're saying
I'm
that,
I
that's when her
turned
birthday is.
I
November
turned
4th.
53 on August 24. So
Oh wow. Wow.
I'm
That's
an
awesome.
old man. So I'm glad to
Oh,
see some
so my
young
sister
folks
says
showing
she's
up. Because we need young folks to keep young ourselves, and two,
of course.
what the hell good was all of our experience if we don't, in a loving and kind fashion,
Of
try to
course.
share some of it with the young?
Yeah.
It's
She
all just
did
going to
say,
die with us.
yeah,
Hmm?
she did say it's the first Tuesday.
Yep,
That's what Connie said.
you got
Uh
it. Connie's
yeah.
got till December. Oh, she's still a young chick.
Yeah. So my sister's birthday will be that Monday night on the 4th, and then on the 5th is the actual election night. So thank you, Connie. Oh, you got till December, right? That's true. Um, yeah. So November 5th, that Tuesday night, and that's when we'll plan our riff on the election.
Nice. I love
That's what
Weird
I'll call it.
Al's
So yeah.
songifies of the debates. What I love about them is I suspect I can see a bias, but he's not so blatant that you can really objectively say that this is his bias. He riffs them
Yeah.
both, and he riffs them in fun ways, and he's not hateful about either one. And I love that. Oh, Connie's going to be 54.
In December.
So
Woohoo!
all you young guys are into older chicks, and Connie's like, "Oh, you blankety blank."
Yeah, Connie. Wow.
Okay, I'm a horrible person. This was the
That's
moment
all right,
Curtis
Curtis.
found himself kicked out of the community and
Oh,
became
stop.
pariah. All right, I'm gonna thank everyone in the chat. I'm gonna start my soft prone music. Maybe, yeah. Here we go. There There we go.
Yay!
And
Yeah, I was
hopefully,
playing some of that looped music myself last night.
oh
At the,
yeah.
towards the end of my it was
I
great.
wish I had better music, and I played with trying to make theme songs out of copyrighted stuff. And honestly, the funny thing is, YouTube didn't ding me about it.
Oh, good.
But I didn't continue to use it because they dinged me for other things, and I was like, oh, there's going to come a point if I keep using these. I think they were, to me, they were fairly well edited. Not as good as, like, say, for example, I don't know if you've looked at any of Enigma Severus's stuff, but I think his stuff is really well edited.
Yeah.
But for
last
me,
night, I did find out too. You have to be careful. One thing I did find out last night: you have to be careful with a title that you're going to use for your shows, because I was going to use what they call Friday Night Frolics, but then I realized I got this. It might have been a minor strike, but it came from somebody who's well known in the community. I won't say who his name is, but he's very well known, and he calls his shows like that Friday Night Frolics, and I can't use that. So I was like, oh boy, oh my, yeah. So yeah, I have to be careful from now on. Yeah.
One of my tricks is I try to make a title that is similar to whatever the top viewed thing on my subject is, but not exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because I figured,
I figured? I figured one original, which I think Suzanne agreed with me. We were going to call it Mikey Sue's 4 Movie Night, or I'm actually thinking better off would be Mikey Sue's 4 Movie Mayhem. I know.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that.
I like that too. So
I think that's what you should go with. Yeah, either one would work, but I think that one's more catchy. And let's face it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If we want to grow, and I don't know why we wouldn't want to grow at least a little bit. We may not necessarily want to be the next Mr. Beast, and that's okay. But
that's all right.
But growing a little bit, I think you got to be catchy. Got to give them a good hook.
Got to catch them all.
All right. Thank you very much, Mike, for being on the panel and for your.
Thank you for having me, sir.
100%. Thank you very much, Tim, FKHC 2005, for showing up, leaving a comment, and your support. Connie Cleary, Fluff Chick Productions, thank you for your support, your moderation. Let me know if you ever actually have to block someone, because I've yet to block anybody. I'm curious if it ever happens. Sci-Fi Mombi, thank you for showing up in the comment. I hope you got to watch it. She's a wonderful, I love her stuff. She has nearly daily shows. She does watch parties. Some of the movies she's shown have scarred me for life, but it's always a fun time. It's always a fun
but her
time.
kids. But you know what's great, Mombi, is her kids are very highly talented too.
Her kids are talented, and that's scary and scars me for life too. No,
definitely.
Moira Kitty, meow meow to you. Thank you for your comments, your support, and for sharing with us all the screwed up crap that happens in the news. And also, you have me on your panels a fair amount of times. You would more, but I keep scheduling things in inopportune times. I don't know. We'll figure it out, maybe.
And that's Sashi, the man from Malaysia, who is our futuristic time traveler. He's 12 hours ahead of us.
And yet he never gives us the lottery tickets. But I love him.
He never gives the numbers. I know I've asked him a few times, but he says, but I'm in Malaysia, Mikey. I can't just pass you numbers all that backwards in time. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Now, if I was betting on something down there, I bet I could convert it to Canadian dollars eventually.
He leaves so many clever comments.
Yeah, we
hi,
have friends
Suzanne.
in Australia too that can't help us. And they're 16 hours ahead of us. So.
Right on.
Yeah.
I also love that he shares all those recipes with Mrs. Dadman walking. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Sashi's great at that.
He is. Sometimes I wish he had his own stuff, but I get he's working hard and it's tough. I can attest to that. It's tough to do
Oh,
do a
definitely.
job and do it on the side. JPRPH1, one of the most supportive people I know. He gives me information, he gives me support and prayers, always comments, always shows up when he can. Thank you very much. And Gorilla's Random Thoughts, I'm sorry that I'd missed you, but Kapla, back to you. You are an honorable warrior. I hate that YouTube often censors you, but I would like to wish you glory to you and your house. Charlotte Nightstar the Werewolf. Ow!
Yeah. Oh, Werewolf of London.
Indeed. She
Love
is
that song.
new
I
to
love
the
that song.
community. A young person, which is great. It means that we're doing something right if we're getting young people to listen. Honestly, we need to be sharing wisdom with them, but we need to do it in a loving and respectful way. And I know you do, Mikey. I know you.
I do. And I'm encouraged because Curtis, you and Connie and Gorilla and a lot of our other friends in the family, not just the community, but you've all inspired me. And I hope we continue to inspire
Oh yes.
each of our channels and
Yes.
to and continue to pray for all of our families and hope that everything goes well in the future for everyone. So
Exactly. And I will let you pray when I'm done telling everyone hello.
fantastic.
I don't think I have many more, but last call at Troy Pacelli. Thank you for showing up. I know I offended you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being such a strong pillar of the community. I've learned a
Great.
lot from you, and I'm just gratified that I'm part of it all. I know I have at least one more. Yes, the new person, David Riley Plus. Thank you for showing up. I hope you had a
thank you,
good
David.
time. I know you were kind of there toward the end, and I'm sorry about that, but I should have some information down in the comment section on my videos. So if you want to contact me, feel free to contact me on X or wherever the heck I was smart enough to leave information, and we'll figure out a collab with somebody. I'm happy to do that. I need to do more of it. I think that's every. No, it's not. Horse 123. Thank you for showing up.
123. Yeah.
Thanks for leaving a comment. You were so
Hey,
kind.
nay there. Yeah, do a nay like a horse.
You got it.
There we
The Hallie Hinims. Oh, and let's see. Connie Cleary doesn't bite unless you like it hard. Oh my goodness. I thought I was making inappropriate comments. Connie. Goodness.
Connie.
Don't know
Parrots.
what to say about that. And the certain music. Well, you know,
Oh man.
we all have our things. Connie has blocked people, and that's good because
That's great.
I haven't really laid out many ground rules, but I am probably too permissive on my channel. But you know, like I feel like I can't preach free speech and then block every person that irritates me. So, but I trust your judgment.
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit passive myself. I know when it comes to my streams, but I do have my wife is very dependable. She can help. Connie can help. Lemon Pie can help. They're all really good at what they do.
That's fantastic.
And yeah, it's wonderful. No, I'm not putting in the bad porn music.
I am, darn it, but
oh, just kidding, Connie.
don't get
say,
worried or scared, Connie. I'm mostly harmless, and I'm dating anyway, and I don't want to mess things up with.
All right. If you want me to say a quick prayer, and
Please,
then we'll
yes.
head
You
on
want me
out.
to keep the music? Stop it? Does it matter?
No, the music is perfectly fine.
Okay.
The music is perfectly fine the way it is. All right. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost, dear Lord, thank you for this wonderful thing we call social media. It's a wonderful way to bring together family and friends and acquaintances that we get along with. Remember that our YouTube family is a family and not just a community. And we hope and pray that the Holy Trinity, yourself, your beloved Son, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, as well as the Blessed Virgin Mary, can bring us through the rough times, the hard times, and even evil times to get us to our eventual goal, which is to join you in heaven, Lord. So for all the prayers we ask, and for all the love that we share amongst each other, thank you, Lord, for everything you do for us. Amen and amen. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Amen. And last comment that I'll talk about, and then I won't do my entire spiel since this wasn't political. It's just about a movie, but I'll sign off. I'm sorry if you didn't like it, David. Hopefully you did, but Dragon Ball Z, not meaning to be snarky, but it was inspired by this movie. That may not help you like it more. That's okay, because we don't all have to be the same, think the same, like the same things. It's all about love and respect is what it's all about.
Oh,
so,
definitely.
the one part of the spiel that I am going to say is just to remember, you're not going mad.
Sorry.
You're going sane in a world gone mad. Thank you for listening to the stream. Thank you for watching the movie. Hopefully I see some of you on Charlotte Nightstar's theater thing. And I hope y'all have a wonderful evening.